My name is Seth Kwame Boateng, producer of the documentary Next to Die. I got to know about the congestion at the maternity and mother and baby unit of the Konfo Teaching Hospital in October 2014 when the head of public relations at the hospital, Kwame Frimpong, called and followed up with a mail asking what I could do to help them. I remember one doctor, Dr. Richie Salome, also asked me to find time and come over to see what story I can do about the situation since about 4 babies were dying every day due to the congestion. So in February 2017, when I visited the Konfo Teaching Hospital on a different mission, I decided to devote some time to tell this story as well. I was at the Konfo to interview doctors and patients as part of a prostate cancer documentary I was putting together. I got depressed and shocked when I was taken around to see the congestion resulting in the needless deaths of mothers and babies. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw about 4 or 5 babies sharing cots and incubators. I will be honest, at a point, I broke down. I remember running straight to my boss's office upon my return to Accra, and I remember very well picking a marker, trying to paint the picture of the problem to him on a whiteboard in the office.
Every year, imagine if it's only 365 babies die every day at Konfo Teaching Hospital, all due to congestion. You know, babies, anything they touch, they...
I saw the shock on his face, and all he wanted to know was whether I had videos and pictures to prove. When I said yes, Elvis Kwashi said, "Kwame, let's do the story. In fact, we are starting our new program, special assignment with it."
Kwame, let's get it done.
Yeah.
Where's Jahu? Let's call Jahu.
Jahu.
Let's call Jahu. Jahu is the lead for special assignment. Let's call him. Let's meet with the morning show team. Let's have a plan.
Yeah.
Okay. A plan that covers all the platforms. Okay.
I decided that we start special assignment from there because you know that this kind of story was not in the line of equation, the kind of things that we wanted to use the special assignment for. It wasn't like that. We wanted to grow. We wanted to create a product, okay, that will be unique, that will be informative, that will document our history. So, Konfo wasn't a part of the plan from the beginning, but the figures were so shocking, and I thought that it would be a good thing to start from there.
This story shocked the conscience of the nation. Public discourse on how to solve the problem started gathering momentum. So the management of the multimedia group started talking about how to get government to complete the over 43-year-old building or explore other alternative ways of getting a new facility built at the hospital to ease the congestion.
So we met and we considered the various options. We knew there was this building that had been sitting there for what, 40 years or so. The amount involved, we understood, was about $75 million. And we thought that if we tried to raise money for that and we fall short, then we wouldn't have solved the problem. And besides, it looked like it would take a long time to complete. So we said, okay, is there anything we can do with the existing facility to make things better?
Management of Multimedia Group Limited held a meeting with authorities at Konfo Teaching Hospital to further discuss the option of extending the wings of the hospital psychiatric unit, which was very close to the maternity and mother and baby unit. The hospital shared the architectural drawings of this at the joint meeting.
The first option that was considered was to expand these two blocks that you see. The first extreme one is the consulting room 1. And then the second one is the psychiatric consulting rooms. So the idea was that we were going vertical upwards, vertical expansion, so that you could get the second floor and then the third floor for the maternity and then baby unit. What that means was that you have to introduce new columns to be able to reinforce the existing foundation so that it can take the additional floors. Aside that, the construction works was also going to interrupt with the clinical activities. At the peak construction period, definitely the consulting rooms may have to be closed down. So those were the options that we were going. And then, in addition to that, even the time for the construction, because of the additional columns and all that, was going to take a minimum of about 18 months to 2 years.
We met their designers and everything, and it looked like they were thinking of doing this in 2 years. And we felt that 2 years, we couldn't sit by and let babies and mothers continue dying. So we felt that, no, that may not be the way to go. So then we proposed that, is there something else we can do? Can we put up a different structure? Remember that if we were going to work on the existing structure, it was going to create a lot of disruption. It was going to create a lot of disruption and would actually make matters worse before any improvement would come.
We would like you to have a copy.
A copy of the documentary was presented to the First Lady Rebecca Akufo-Addo. As a mother, she felt persuaded to support the multimedia group to find sustainable means of solving the problem.
I definitely would look into it and see what I can do. I'm a woman, like these women who go through this. And I don't think in this day and age this should be happening to any woman in the world. And so thank you very much for this presentation. I'll come back to you after I've watched it fully and to think through with other people what we can do to help as soon as possible. I felt that something should be done very quickly, because what I saw was really very worrying. And but I didn't know where to start. I knew that we needed to do something to end babies and mothers from dying.
She had the support of the wife of the Vice President, Hajia Samira Baumia. She was determined to help the First Lady find a solution to this.
I had seen it before you sent the copy, and I was very moved by it. And she felt same, so it was easy, we were on the same page. And I remember I had conversations with you about it, because it looked like the solution was so enormous and nobody could think of how to get to the bottom of it. It was all these millions of cedis to get a building done. So for me, my thought process immediately was, what is this short-term solution we should, and I was beside myself that the hospital had not thought of something in the interim. So that got me thinking, and thankfully, after my conversation with you, I realized that they were willing to consider other options. And so we had a conversation with her, and I thought if she drove the project, I would be there and do what I could do in my small way to make it happen.
The first move by the First Lady was to dispatch a team of engineers to the Konfonochi Teaching Hospital.
I had to send a team to Kumasi to make sure that what we'd actually seen on the documentary is what exists, and to find out from the staff what can be done and the first step to take. And so they went out there, and indeed what they saw was what was in the documentary. We were looking at making the buildings a lot bigger than the current MBU. So what we did is we've designed a new NICU and then a maternity. Now the maternity and NICU are both about 800 square meters, give or take. I mean, it's slightly less on the NICU, but that then gave us enough space that we required to
to accommodate all of the new rooms and requirements to facilitate the saving of the mothers and the babies. With regards to the buildings themselves, we obviously looked at technologies that would allow us to build very quickly in the time available, because we had a short amount of time available. And so we used all the appropriate technologies to ensure that we could speed up and facilitate fast construction of all the structures.
A number of meetings were held between the Office of the First Lady and the Multimedia Group Limited, considering how the 10 million cedis could be raised. The wife of the Vice President, Samira Baumia, was more than a class prefect in all of these meetings, making sure nobody missed any timelines set.
Each day that passes is the babies that are dying, the women that are dying. So for me, it wasn't about the timeline, it was the human toll that I was thinking about. So it was important that if we're going to do it, we're going to do it well and do it very fast. So that it's about saving lives, literally. It's save a mother, save a child. So the faster the better. And I wasn't going to allow anybody to hold us back, to slack on the job. For me, it was we're doing it and we're doing it well and we're doing it fast.
How to go about it was something that we had to sit down and talk about and work it out. It can't be just me coming up with what I wanted, but the whole team had to have their input as to how to go about it. And as you said, Second Lady was very instrumental in it, JoyNews, and eventually we decided the way forward.
This was necessary since the task ahead was enormous. Project engineers estimated the new maternity and mother and baby unit will cost 10 million cedis, which is equivalent to a little over $2 million.
I felt that it could be done because a lot of people I spoke to and invited saw the need for it and said they would support me. So I knew we'd do it. I knew that we could raise the funds, yes.
On 4th May 2017, the fundraiser, the first one, happened in Accra, and it was a great success.
Look at that, 250,000 Ghana cedis. Right, I'll get out of the way. 16,200 cedis. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. The Kwame Sefa Foundation is donating 2 incubators worth 84,000 cedis.
When we talk about product, our paint, our pipes, our TNG or windows worth 75,000 Ghana cedis.
Oh, let's hear it for Interplast.
The proposed ultra-modern maternity and mother and baby unit will serve the entire northern belt of Ghana. The Asante Otumfuo Osei II and his wife, Lady Julia, were ready to make this happen. They gave their blessings for a second fundraiser to be held at the Mensha Palace, and on 28 May 2017, it happened.
Edu Ata Bobby, he would 500,000 Ghana cedis. He would.
Thank you very much. 30,000 cedis. A round of applause for Aglo. Whoa, I can't believe my eyes. 100,000 Ghana cedis. Thank you ever so much.
Anglo God Ashanti Obuase. Omo a transfer sikana ba bank no edit statement aba 50,000 Ghana cedis.
Now we could see a way clear. Enough money had been raised for the project to take off. So on Monday, 29th May 2017, the First Lady did the sword cutting and work began immediately. Earth-moving equipment were immediately deployed to the site to prepare the ground. Trees were brought down and the land was prepared for the project to take off. Engineers from Africa Building Partners worked day and night to ensure that a facility is built within the shortest possible time to save the lives of mothers and babies who visit Ghana's second biggest teaching hospital.
The reality is, when we started this program with JoyNews, the amount of babies that are passing away every day, the mothers even that are passing away, it was evident that a very fast, efficient solution had to be found. And my team, everybody realized just how important that was, to develop this and build this as quickly as possible so that we could try and achieve the deadline to save mothers and babies. So it was very evident to us that we needed to work extremely long hours on the weekend, 7 days a week, and sometimes right through the night, just to achieve that target.
To keep our donors updated on the progress of work, we frequently visited the site to monitor progress of work.
Goal towards achieving the final product.
Yes.
At what percentage level are we in?
At the moment, I would estimate that we're at 30%. We're at 30%, yes.
Because of the promise that we made to the people, through the support of the donors, that we will come out or we will produce a nice state-of-the-art building. So it was important for us to go and also check the progress of the building as we go along, because we need to deliver a promise. It was not our money, it was not multimedia's money, it was not First Lady's money, it was the money of the people that have donated. Companies, corporate companies, individuals that have donated. We had a responsibility in delivering what we promised. So we did we constantly went for progress check to the facility, and we found that the progress was going on well.
The First Lady also followed up.
I saw drawings of it, but I didn't know this is how it would turn out. I'm really amazed and overjoyed at what I see today.
In a matter of 5 months, we have more than we anticipated. We have a brand new state-of-the-art maternity, neonatal and pediatric intensive care units to support the public health system in Kumasi that currently suffers from a high mortality rate and insufficient space and equipment. It has been certified by the International Finance Corporation under the World Bank as a green and very sustainable project based on the materials used for the construction. Benjamin Van Dal Aurel is EDGE Program Manager.
There are a lot of improvements that the building is bringing to the way this mother and baby unit is operated currently and to how it will be in the future. And this is not related to energy or to water specifically. There are a lot of improvements just in the quality of service, in the infrastructure, etc. The benefit, I think, for the patient is the fact that the way it has been built and designed will ensure longevity, will ensure quality for the long run. And that has been part of the efforts of the developer, but the fact that there is a strive to get a certification and to do it really sustainably is going to even increase the longevity of the building, and so ensure long-lasting quality and positive.
African Building Partners, the construction firm that put up this facility, carefully chose materials used for the project.
The amount of energy that the hospital uses is immense, it's huge. And so therefore for us it was important to ensure that the buildings were efficient, and the only way to achieve that was to ensure that we insulate the buildings properly so that all the cool energy that we introduce into the buildings are kept in the buildings. So the less power that we're using to cool the buildings down, the less power that we're using to heat up water, which in this case is nothing because we're using solar geysers, the less power that we're using for lights, all of that is a benefit to the hospital, so that instead of them spending money on the running costs of the hospital, they can rather spend money on maintaining equipment and the infrastructure of the hospital. That's where the money should be spent, not on running the hospital.
The 2,722 square meter facility has 9 birthing beds and 3 operating theaters. So currently at the Konfo Teaching Hospital, 12 women can deliver at the same time. With about 120 cots and up to 20 incubators, each baby can now enjoy a single cot or incubator. This would significantly reduce the rate of contaminations.
One way of preventing the infections was to give them more space and more equipment. So instead of sharing the cots like they're doing currently, in this case, every child will have their own individual cots. They also have been divided in 4 different rooms, which in addition of the intensive care ones is 3 additional rooms. So if there's a baby coughing, there'll be less cross-infection spread throughout the general population. Today, Komfo has 92 admitted infants. Okay, and the new building can allow up to 140 babies. Okay, so there's ample capacity for each one of them to have the appropriate space.
The icing on the cake is the breastfeeding area for the mothers. Comfortable state-of-the-art reclinable seats have been provided for breastfeeding. In the past, mothers sat on benches to feed their babies.
New place na yesi na hoye kama no ho de kwa akwala bia won court mother bia won baby obede obeda insonkonso ni baby no you feel comfortable to take care of your child nti obi anya eni da so nyame ya adom na osadom ye biemu a na ye beba MBU a ye benya baby pa ayede adama ye ho ayede atoye
ye ni hwe ye hospital ayesi amaye MBU fo a de ye kan ne say ye damwase Eda o my Ghana for obia wodi ni sika boaye e ma ye di CMBU ama ye say ye medicine ye da mu nyina se afa ye da enkonya kora wo ho aha wo ba efie enkonya na wo bepre no kora na ye pere wa mantamu nya bi ntina so aida so obetena form no wa feed u ba eso e say de ye nya enkonya fefefe ye da obia se.
The First Lady, as well as the wife of the Vice President, share in the joy of these mothers.
Words fail me. It's incredible, and not because of just but it just tells you how much good thinking, and when you put your mind to something, you can get it done. This has been a problem that has been sitting on us for years and decades, and this is just a team of people, determined people who sat down and thought about a solution, and by the grace of God, this has come out of within how many months? It's incredible.
I have seen the pictures which you sent to me a few nights ago, and I was in bed and I saw these pictures and I thought, what am I looking at? What is this? And you know, I was totally, I was shaken to the core that this is the outcome of this this whole thing, and we thank God for that. We've done a good job. We have done a good job, and I say a very big thank you to the contractor and the engineer. They have done an amazing job.
When I go there, as if everything is over, it is your help, the help of First Lady, plus other benevolent people. They have made it, and we are all proud of that.
We'll be looking at saving anything from 4 to 8 babies a day. You know, over a year, that's thousands of babies. So that's you know, so we really are hoping that we're going to achieve that and make a huge difference to the mothers and babies.
Head of Child Health at the Komfo Teaching Hospital, Professor Emmanuel Aduyobo, is equally excited.
Sometimes you wonder where you are when you get into this building, because we remember very clearly how this place was when it was grass. And I even personally have pictures of it when it was grass and when they started the foundation up till now. And it's like a dream. You see it moving gradually from stage to stage until I recently entered, and it's like, wow, this is like somewhere else.
Doctors and nurses at the Mother and Baby Unit, led by Dr. Jikwa Planjou, can now heave a sigh of relief.
It's become a reality. I mean, as you can see, it's here. And I think we can pretty confidently say that when we move in here, we will not have more than one baby in any one space. Not just one baby, one cot, one baby, one incubator, one baby, one radiant warmer. Yeah, it's a reality. We are so much looking forward to moving into this facility. Not just because of the space. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more space. We're going to have a lot more space. Each baby is going to have his own space. I just left the ward and we were trying to separate two babies who were virtually fighting because one had stuck out his fist and was. So obviously that's a huge relief. You know, but apart from the space, just the amount of equipment and the quality of the equipment that we are going to get to work in this building is something that we are all looking forward to very, very much.
The same excitement is felt at the gynecology unit at the hospital. Professor Bafu Opoku is the head.
I don't envisage any situation where a laboring mother will queue before she is delivered. In the same vein, the theater facilities are more than we had in the old place. And therefore, again, I don't envisage a situation where any woman will queue before she has a cesarean section. So it's been very great, and we all look forward to the day when things will be handed over formally so that we can start using them. I can't wait to see that day. We thank Multimedia, we thank the Office of the First Lady for the initiative to get this great edifice up to this stage.
It is often said that Ghanaians have a bad maintenance culture. It is the fear for many concerning this facility. But the Chief Executive Officer of the hospital, Dr. Ohineba Owusu-Danso, and the First Lady, Rebecca Akufo-Addo, say how to maintain it has been considered.
For us, we have further responsibility in the training of our staff to take very good care of the modern equipment that we have seen being installed over there, so that the maintenance of this facility should be one of the key things that management will have to put on its agenda for regular discussion.
The impact of this new facility on maternal mortality is immeasurable. Dr. Ohineba Owusu-Danso is excited about the prospects this offers.
For the people who have really supported in terms of organizations and institutions, the foremost institution being the Rebecca Foundation, we are very, very grateful. Not just the foundation per se, but even for the leadership of the First Lady, you know, in leading the way for the fundraising and for her, regular visits as the construction was even going on. That whipped up the enthusiasm and the interest to actually mobilize a lot of funds towards the projects. And as a Chief Executive of the hospital, I should be also very grateful to all the individuals and organizations that donated at various places in Kumasi, Accra, for the fundraising that we actually embarked upon. I mean, for multimedia, I mean, everything is yours. Everything is yours because, I mean, like I said earlier on, the coming into being of the First Lady's connection to this project was all multimedia. Clearly speaking, the documentary, I mean, which became a very historic one, is critically what has led all of us. So, and the reason why multimedia has the unique and the single opportunity for this interview.
All the stakeholders are equally appreciative of this enormous support.
We're grateful for your support. We're grateful for contributing to this effort to save lives. We're committed to doing as much as possible to change this country and to improve it. Thank you for supporting us, for being our partners, and we hope that in the future you would also support all the laudable projects.
I'd like to say that it doesn't end here. Komfanoche is one. We're going on to Kolebu's Children's Emergency Ward as well. And I'll need all your support once again. I thank you all and may God bless you.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank Her Excellency the First Lady, Her Excellency the wife of the Vice President, Corporate Ghana, leadership, management and staff of Multimedia Group, and of course not forgetting the only one Seth Kwame Boateng, who has raised this issue that has brought the whole country together for us to able to address this issue that was happening in Kumasi. So thank you everyone, and God bless you.
Thank you for making this possible. I am really fulfilled by what we've been able to achieve together. Thank you again.